Hey, good morning. Welcome to today's another show of what they don't teach you in schools. Today we are going to talk about specifically only for interns and what do employers look for in an intern. Why do employees hire an intern and how you change yourself to get hired? A lot of times and majority of the times interns come with a particular fancy and perception about where they want to work, how they want an environment, and this is what makes them stressed out. What you as an intern need to know is what is the skill that the employer is looking for in you, and one of the most important skill, and if you are able to crack this skill, 80% of your job is done. This one particular skill will help you to get that particular job. Through all the first five questions, the HR is looking to understand, are you coachable? If you as an intern are coachable, then you stand to get the job. Now, why they have to search for this? The reason is, for any employee, when an employee joins the company works in a specific fashion. The company has a different set of processes, and you are never taught those processes as a part of your schooling or in your college and everything. So the company needs to train you, and the faster you are coachable and the faster you get trained is where you will be onboarded to directly on the floor and start managing it. If they face difficulty in training you, is where they don't want to onboard you. So the first and foremost thing is, are you coachable? Are you trainable? Do you understand perfectly? Do you understand quickly? Then after being coachable, that particular thing is solved. Then what is the next thing an HR is looking for? The HR is looking for team players. They want people to work in teams. They want people to connect with each other and relate. Somebody who works in silos, nobody wants to have that on board, because the day the person who's managing in silos quits or leaves the company, their knowledge transfer becomes difficult. So somebody who is a team player, what happens is there are other people who understand what this person is doing, and it is a lot of information sharing and caring, and a lot of things happen. So are you a team player? So these two things. Then comes, are you a problem solver, or you always come with a problem? I know it's difficult, but everybody is looking for a problem solver. I have this problem. Can you solve this problem? They don't want an intern or anybody come to them as a manager or as a head, that every time somebody comes, how do you do this? How do you do this? Yeah, hell, you go and find out how do you go this. Don't come and bug me. I need this task to be done, because they have specific set of deliverables. If they keep on training somebody each and every time about how to do this or how to do that and this and that, it takes a lot of time. Once you start delivering and start problem solving is when somebody is happy, and once they're happy, they will teach you what they want to teach you. It's difficult for you to every time go and ask, and you cannot ask. The day you keep on asking, the next day HR will ask you that please leave the company. Nobody wants somebody who comes with a problem every time. And after problem solving, there are two skills still, and those two skills are communication and time management. Communication is essential, that you are able to communicate verbally, you are able to communicate with emails, or whether you are able to communicate your idea with a presenter, however it can be. Are you able to communicate your idea is the core skill, and if you are able to deliver on that core skill, communication is where, this is the reason why most of the, whenever you go to apply job, they ask you to write down everything. I will ask you to write down this, write an essay, write this. They want to understand whether you can communicate and you can understand that communication. You can answer that communication. That helps them to understand whether you have that basic skill. Communication plays one of the most important role, because tomorrow if you want to interact with the client, how do you diplomatically engage with the client? It's very essential. There's another essentiality about communication is, even when you are not working in a communication industry and you're working in say engineering or say any other field, the way you need to communicate your idea to convince somebody that this is the right way to do it and not this way is where communication also matters. And not just there, communication also plays a key role when you have to train a large number of people for a certain set of things. So communication will always play a role. And last but not the least is time management. Nobody wants to see somewhere an intern coming at 11 o'clock in the morning and leaving at 11 o'clock at night. That means two things. You are not focused. You always come late to office. So if your office timing is 10 o'clock and you're coming every day at 11 o'clock, your boss is not going to be happy about it, mind you. Second is, you may say that I had to work late in the evening till 11 o'clock, hence I was late. Then you are not good at time management. You need to manage your time. Not each and every task needs to be delivered today itself. There are some tasks that you can do today itself and deliver. Some tasks you can do part today and part tomorrow. And some tasks can be aligned for some other day, where your thinking needs to be done today, but the task delivery can be done some other time. This is where you need to understand the lot of things about time management and everything. Like a lot of times your 20% of things can be done. For that you need 80% of the time, and 80% of the things can be done in 20% of the time. Which things need you to think and be creative, which thing needs to be something which is a static, like approval, voucher approval process or something of that sort, or scanning some resumes or everything. These are tasks that you don't need to apply to that extent in your brain. But when it is creative, you have to write a concept, you have to think about a strategy, you have to think about new ideas, is where a lot of time consumption goes, and you don't want disturbance. Is where you focus that thing early morning or late while traveling or when you're alone. So you need to split your time, and you need to have a scheduler as a calendar where you put the entire thing in the calendar. This is where you do this stuff, this is where you do this stuff, this is where you do discussions with different team members. So any team member wants to have discussion with you, they will know that these are the open blocks available for scheduling. They will book your schedule accordingly, and those the blocks where you want to dedicate, you dedicate yourself in your calendar. So even free time needs to be scheduled in the calendar. You cannot, because won't get a free time. So even if you want to read a book, schedule it in the calendar. You want to watch a series, schedule it in the calendar. Everything you schedule it, because the day you learn how to schedule it, half of your stress gets out. 90% of the stressed out interns are because they're not able to manage their time, they're not able to plan. So this five things, I'll again repeat. The number one skill is being coachable. You have to be coachable. Then comes, you have to be team player. If you are not a team player, no. You have to be problem solver and think critically. You no longer should go with questions, go with answers. You have to have good communication skills, whether email or whether anyhow. You need to know how to manage your time. And last but not the least, if you are looking to join any company as intern, do follow my channel. I'm Moses Gooms, your coach. Just after teaching for almost 15 years, I realized there are a lot of things that skills are not taught to students, and this is what I deliver via my YouTube channel. Thanks again for joining.